evening, man.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Long time no see.
Yeah, man, what's been up with you?
Man, I just been trying to wake up my brothers to this truth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're part of the lost 12 tribes of Israel.
What?
We're from the tribe of Judah.
Oh, imagine that.
Judah, the bow shooter, the iron rod ruler. All nations gonna bow down, even Buddha. Wake up Jacob and the mighty men. Bring the...
Heavenly Father, higher, we give you all praise and thank you, Father, for allowing us to make it here safely. We thank you, Father, for waking us up in these last days. Please, Father, allow this lesson to be edified. Allow your Holy Spirit to be upon us. We thank you again, Father, for everything that you do. Please, Father, protect our brothers and sisters that couldn't make it and that's around the world that's pushing forth your truth. In the name of your Son, Yeshua, so be. All right. Today's lesson, well-needed lesson. Try to do lessons for beginners, intermediate, and experts. But this lesson right here is much, much needed. The lesson title today is Knowing Your Enemy. Knowing your enemy. The definition of enemy is a person who hates or opposes another person and tries to harm that person. Right? Enemy is a person who feels hatred for and harmful desires designed against or engaging in arsonic activities, an adversary or opponent, an armed foe.
So what post-it mean?
Hmm?
What post-it mean?
What you mean?
When you post you, when enemies post you.
Oppose, opposite,
Oppose.
against.
They're against you.
Okay.
Right. We all have a common enemy. The thing is about enemies and the thing about war. Yes, numbers help in wars, right? But what helps you win a war is information, knowledge. This is a spiritual battle. We've talked about this many times in class. This is not something you're going to win with guns or fists, knives, any kind of type of weapon or physical. You're going to have to use the word that our Father gave us. Your enemy, you best believe, knows everything about you. Everything from the time you came into this world. That common enemy is Satan. This is what today's topic is going to be on, knowing your enemy. How can you possibly go to war if you know nothing about your enemy, but your enemy knows every single thing about you? And you best believe he knows all intel on you. Each and every single one of you, myself included, all of us. Right? Satan, his name means adversary, one who resists. Can also mean accuser, right? It also falls under Satan, the devil. But the word devil can also apply to people, not just Satan himself, which we know is a what? Fallen angel, spirit, right? The word devil is deceiver. Means someone or something evil, hurtful, or wicked, right? Again, that word deceiver. Greek diabolos. Devil means deceiver, in the Greek, and it says, in other words, Satan could go on the name of Prince of Air. And we're gonna bring out these scriptures to let you understand this. He also is known as the tempter, right? Again, today's lesson is very needed. How many times have y'all actually even studied Satan? We've all heard people say his name. What is he really capable of? What can he do? What is his limits? Right? Brother?
Well, if the Almighty himself calls him a worthy adversary, then he knows more about you than you do. Because you've forgotten. He doesn't forget. And he's got to be close to the power of the Almighty if he calls him a worthy adversary. So he is a force to be reckoned with. In that sense.
True. Right? Let's open up today. Let's turn to Ezekiel, chapter 28, 12 through 19.
All right.
What's wrong?
I said all right.
Okay.
What's that like, bro?
Huh?
What?
Just all right. Hey,
Okay, ain't,
What chapter? No, you
I got a question.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I can't answer that for it.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, I
Ezekiel.
got it, yeah.
Wait, look, Ezekiel.
Question.
Talk about where it's at.
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay.
What chapter book, bro?
We're going to chapter 28, and we're going to start at 11. I think earlier I said 12. We're going to start at 11. We're going to go all the way down to 19. All right. Let's get a closer look at our adversary. Understand this, brothers and sisters, you cannot reason with him. He is not your friend. I don't care how nice he may come off to be. You cannot, again, talk it out with him. He is trying to destroy you. This is not a laughing matter. Because you best believe, you think you're all right, he on your back. You see it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to see it.
Ezekiel 28.
Ezekiel 28.
Chapter verse
Chapter
11.
28. Yep, start at verse 11.
Oh, 11.
Yep. Nobody's exempt from this folk. Remember, he is a spirit. That means he does not get tired. He does not need to rest. He does not need to eat. He does not need to sleep. He has command of angels working with him against you. I'm telling y'all, brothers and sisters, this lesson is very needed. I know you sitting on the laughing, Jalen, he will wear you out. You don't even believe it, but he been in on you like crazy. In this class and in your life. Trust me. All right. Let's start. This is verse 11, right? You got it, bro?
I got it. Okay. Ezekiel, chapter 28, verse 11.
Everybody, please pay close attention to this.
Moreover, the word of Ahio came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus says Ahio, Thou sealest up the song, full of wisdom and perfect in liberty. 13. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of Ahio. Every precious stone was thy covering.
Stop right there. Let's back up. Let's go back to verse 13. It says, Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of Ahio. Now, has this king of Tyrus, has he been in the garden of Eden?
Who's Tyrus?
I'm just saying, has he been in the garden of Eden? Do you know the story of the garden of Eden? No. So, who is he talking about here? All right, keep going, brother.
Okay. Come start right at 13. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of Ahio. Every precious stone was thy covering. The stardust, topaz, and the diamond. The beryl, the oxen, and the jasper. The sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle. And gold, and the workmanship of thy tabrets, and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day thou was created.
In the day that thou was created. So all these beautiful gems, all these things, and they say in the day you created, you got pipes built inside you. Brothers and sisters, he is not talking to a king of Tyrus. This person was built, was created. They were not born, they were created. Keep going, brother.
Okay. 14. Thou art anointed cherubim that covereth.
Thou art an anointed cherub. Do y'all know what a cherub is?
A chariot?
A cherub.
An angel.
An angel. A cherub is an angel.
I thought is you talking about one was
Not a chariot, not a chariot, a cherub.
Oh,
Or cherubim. A cherubim.
what type of angels are they?
I don't know, you tell me.
I don't know.
Well, wait and listen. A cherub. Keep going.
Okay. 14. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth. I have set thee so that was upon the holy mountain of Ohio. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. 15. Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till the iniquity was found in thee.
He says, thou was perfect in thy ways. So this cherub was perfect in his ways until filth was found in him. That's what it means, iniquity was found in this cherub, right? 16, brother.
16. By thy multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as a profane out of the mountains of Ohio. And I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. 17. Thy heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground, and I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee.
Start right there. So we know one thing about this cherub. He had wisdom, right? Beautiful. Oh yeah. You see it right there.
Yeah, I see it, but it was a chariot. I'm
A cherubim, we're going to break it down to is an angel. A cherubim is an angel. We're going to break it down. Listen very closely. You need to understand this. This time right here, you need to pay attention. Listen. Because again, this enemy knows everything about you. Now you need to start learning about your enemy. You cannot fight your enemy if you don't know nothing about him. Right? Again, this cherubim is beautiful. Wisdom. Keep that in your minds. They have wisdom, knowledge. Right? Keep going, brother.
18. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by thy multitude of thy iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to the ashes upon the earth in the sight of all them that behold thee. 19. All they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more.
Never shall thou be any more. This, brothers and sisters, is a first glimpse, or how you would say, a better understanding of how Satan was when he was in heaven. Our Father didn't make nothing hideous. Please understand that. He was very beautiful, very powerful. Sister.
No, go ahead.
Okay, you got some? Okay. He was very powerful, full of wisdom and knowledge. Right? This brother and sister is an internal being. We're not fighting flesh here. We're going to go into more detail about who he is and the things that he can do. Right? You got something to say?
Yeah, in 13, I just toward the end of it, when it's saying the workmanship of thy tabrets and thy pipes were prepared in thee, and the pipes that was prepared in him was every instrument that you hear in musicians and music.
Yep.
His voice was like a heavenly host.
Yeah.
So he was the what we call it now, the maestrates of orchestra.
And like you said, that we gotta understand too, what sister just brought out. All these rappers, singers, all these all that same good, they don't get their good from Ohio. They got these, they get it, of course.
Yep, that was 18. I was finna go
Okay,
there.
go ahead, sister.
Because 18 said, thou hast defiled the sanctuary by multitudes of thy iniquities, by the iniquities of the traffic. That's trading his gift. That's what that traffic is. Therefore, I will bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. But basically, I just wanted to also just show where he was trading his gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can
Okay.
see it in the camp.
Nice. Because you got a gift from Ohio. What happens is the devil come and trade it for, for get his gift. You bow down to me. When he told you, sorry, you bow down to me. He do that to us. So that's why he said, you bow down to me, I'll give you this. So that people are like, wow, that's money, that's riches. I'll take that. So they changed their grip. That's the trust we're talking about.
Nice. Good job. Like that. All right. Now, let's go to Job. No, sorry, Job chapter 1. All right. This was an encounter.
Job chapter 1, what verse?
1.
Okay.
We're going through 1 through 21.
Esther.
Says
Got
chapter
you. Chapter 1.
one.
Right. This encounter right here is about Job. All right. We have to understand something about Job. Job didn't know anything about Satan. And we find to go into more detail about this, some of the things that happened to him. All right. Everybody done?
No.
Okay. Let's start.
Job chapter 1, verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared Ahijah, and eschewed evil. And there was born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 sheep, in a very great household. So that this man was great in all men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed Ahijah in their hearts. Thus did Job continually.
Stop right there. So this little passage that we learned from 1 through 6, Job was a upright man, right? Job did what he was supposed to do. He even sacrificed for his kids just in case they had did something wrong. And he said they were going, his children, they were going about their days, enjoying their life, with each other, And again, Job said, just in case they may have sinned, I'm going to sacrifice for them anyway. So Job is an upright man, right? Keep going, brother. Verse 6.
6. Now there was a day when the sons of Ahijah came to present themselves to Ahijah, and Satan came also among them.
So stop right there. Right here we see that the sons of God, we're talking about angels, correct? It said they presented themselves in front of Ahijah. And who came amongst them? Satan. Keep going, bro.
Well, I got something to say. When you see the sons of Ahijah, that's talking about angels. You see the sons of man, that's men. They're formed by man. That's why people get it mixed up. A lot of people say there was not angels, called King James will not tell you that there was angels, but they'll call them sons of Ahijah. All right. 7. And Ahijah said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Ahijah and said, from going to and fro in the earth, from walking up and down in it. And Ahijah said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job?
The house. Sheila just listened through. So what did I miss out on?
No, we're on Job chapter 1. We right now on verse 6.
We'll go 8.
Okay. All right. Shalom, sis.
Okay, Job chapter 1, verse 8. Ahijah said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feared Ahijah and eschewed evil. Then Satan answered Ahijah and said, does Job fear Ahijah for naught?
So he's saying right there, Job, why Job fear you? He ain't fearing you for nothing, right? Keep going.
10. Has not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance, his increase in the land.
So he's saying basically right there, because you giving him things, this is why Job fear you. He said, look, you got a hedge around him. I can't touch him. I want y'all to understand something about this hedge. Do y'all know how many spirits pass you and watch you all the time?
Probably more than I could count my fingers.
A lot. You know how many demons watch you and they can't get near you because the Father have a hedge around you?
Oh, there's still more I could count.
Please pay attention. If there was no hedge around you, they would tear you up.
So what's a hedge?
Protection. You got it?
Can we read back up to 8?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Because it's going to explain you that the devil know you. Right?
Yeah.
Because, for example, 8 said, Ahijah said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that he is none like him in the earth, perfect and upright, man, one that fear Ahijah and eschew evil. Now listen what Satan gonna say now. This is how Satan watch him. Satan know him. Satan confirm that he know Job. Okay. Then Satan answered to Ahijah and said, does Job fear Ahijah for naught? He said, has not thou made an hedge about him? He telling him, you made a hedge about him. Why you gonna give me a man that you know that you put a hedge on? You protect this man. That's what the devil basically saying, right? He said, and about his house, and about all that he has on every side. Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in thy land. So he telling him, I know everything about Job, everything you bless him with on every side. So Satan saying, I know everything about him. So he's saying he know everything about you, he know everything about me, he know everything about everybody in this room. So the devil know everything about you.
Yep. Give me on verse 7 again.
7. Ahijah said unto Satan, whence comest thou?
See, this is what Satan gonna reply.
Then Satan answered Ahijah and said, from going to and fro in the earth, from walking up and down in it.
So he letting you know right there, he's walking to and fro, up and down in the earth, looking. This is what he doing.
So wait, are they all consistently, do everyone has this form of shield, or is it only for his people?
I put it to you like this. Yeah, his people that's doing what they're supposed to. When we step away from the law, statute, commandments, that opens the door so they can tear you up. When you willfully turn away from the law, then they're going to get on you. However, I'm going to say this. If Satan or demons attacking you in your life, sometimes the Father allows that to happen so that you can be tested. See what I'm saying?
And for chastisement.
And chastisement. Sis, you got something?
Okay, so when it says that Satan walking to and from and down, so that's still spiritual Satan, or is
Yep.
a body
That's
person?
You're
That's
right.
actual Satan. That's that angel, that cherub. That's him actually walking to and fro.
Can you show me a scripture where someone in the Bible that got attacked?
We read it now.
Oh.
We reading it now. Somebody got attacked. Trust me, just pay attention. We finna get it. Somebody right now about to get the business. Yeah. All right. Let's go to we're on verse 9 right now. Yeah. Trust me, pay attention. It's about to get really interesting.
Then Satan answered Ahijah and said, doth Job fear Ahijah for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hand, and his substance is increased in the land. 11. But put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. 12. And Ahijah said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Ahijah.
Stop right there. So, now we know that Satan came in with the sons of God, right? Sons of Yah. And he said, I can't touch him because you got a hedge around him. So you have to understand the more understanding of this, he's asking permission. Can I do something to him? Satan has to ask permission to come at you. If the father do not give that confirmation, he can't come at you. So the father told him right here, you can do anything you want to him, just don't touch his life. Don't kill him. Satan said, all right, and you're going to see he's going to curse you to your face if you let me do this. So now we're finna go down and get down to the bottom of it, all right?
13. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger to Job and said, the oxen was plowing and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabines fell upon them.
And some tribal people. All right?
And took them away. Yeah, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of Ahiah is fallen from heaven, and has burnt up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Stop right there. When it says a fire came from heaven, in some Bibles it say lightning, right? Because lightning is actually fire in its purest form, right? Just to clear that up. So what's going on right here is one servant is coming telling him, man, all your stuff just got stolen. As soon as said, like I'm telling you that, man, your stuff just got stolen. As soon as I walk away, here come another one. He's telling you, oh, now this just happened. Lightning just fell from the sky and killed up all your stuff. Right? Keep going, brother.
17. And he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels, and I have carried them away, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone am escaped, alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young man, and they are dead. And I alone am escaped alone to tell thee. 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. Ahiah gave, and Ahiah had taken away. Blessed be the name of Ahiah. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged Ahiah foolishly.
All right. Now we see right here from chapter 1. So we went through 1 through 22. This was a perfect example of what happened. Satan went before Ahiah. He asked permission. Could I touch Job? Ahiah gave him permission. He gave him authorization. When that authorization happened, you seen this stuff happen back to back to back to back to Job. Job lost his children. He lost his cattle, his riches. All his stuff went in one day. Gone. Now I want you to understand something. Job didn't know nothing about Satan. Because you clearly see right here on verses 20, he says, who Ahiah give, and Ahiah takes away. See, you got something?
Just really nothing, but just reading from 13 to 22, it just basically shows like what we say, that in life, sometimes when it rains, it pours. It could be one situation come, and then you turn around and so many other things happening. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what 13 to 22 was actually showing that. Well, I mean, he easily said in 21, naked I came out of my mother's womb, and naked I returned there. But we have experienced when it rained and poured. And I guarantee you, we was complaining. But he have yet to complain as of yet. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's keep moving, right? Yes, something. Get that, Jay?
I do, I'm sorry. As we read this whole chapter with Job, this can also be applied to our lives, meaning that we see spiritually how our adversary had to go to the Most High
Mm-hmm.
and ask for permission to do a certain thing. So if we apply that in our everyday life, it could be anything, as far as bills not being paid, short on some, anything it could be. And it's just a test for us, not being tempted, but it's a test to see if we are going to rely on the Most High, or if we're going to curse him or go against him, you know what I'm saying, or find another way
Yeah.
that's not his way. Yeah, so I definitely see this.
And two, we never know the bigger picture that's going on. We don't see what's going on behind the scenes. You see what I'm saying? We don't really know.
There have been cases that angels took other people's lives.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They carry out judgment.
There you go.
Yeah. They carry out judgment.
What do you mean carry out judgment?
If the Most High say, I want that, take that person out, that angel coming, going to do
Yeah,
Because of the angel of death.
it. Yeah.
because he's the only one that give a life and death.
You got to say so.
Yeah, he has to say so.
Let's go to Isaiah 45. Clear, show better understanding of this.
So if you're old and stuff, and you die.
If you're young and die, if you're a baby and die,
Yeah.
Isaiah 45.
it's his choice.
Remember the story when my ancestors were in Egypt? We had to put the blood on the door of the house, and the angel came by. The angel killed any firstborn in those houses that didn't have that blood splattered on the front.
Well, why?
That was a commandment. If you didn't have that blood up there, you can play around if you wanted to. If you didn't have that blood up there and the angel passed over, your firstborn died in that house.
You said Isaiah what now?
Isaiah 45 says, I'm sorry.
45 months.
40, chapter 45, we're going to go down to verses 7.
You said Isaiah chapter.
45?
Okay.
Yeah, verses 7.
So you say you had to have blood or in there?
Yeah, we had to put blood on the post of the door. Yeah, we had to mark it around our door as the angel came and passed over. We had to do that before the angel passed over, excuse me. Yeah. If you got caught, you ain't had that on them, which the Egyptians didn't have that on them, they lost their first
So what type of blood was it?
lamb blood.
Oh.
Yeah. If you didn't, yeah. If you see like last week we was talking about following the orders, commandments. If you don't follow orders, you done. There's no I'm sorry, oh let me redo. There ain't no redo. You done. Alright? Reason why we hit Isaiah 45 and 7.
Wait, I thought that, well, Jonah, he didn't follow the commandments.
What happened to him?
He swallowed up by a fish.
The Father made that storm come up on the ship.
Oh shit.
And all the men said him. And they grabbed him and tossed him over the side and that fish came up and swallowed him.
Was it a fish or a whale?
They said, well, some Bibles say fish, some say whales. Yeah, it's probably a species we don't know. But put it like this. You can't go against what the Father tell you to do.
Better to do what he say.
You know?
Yes, it's better to do what he
And you
say.
have to realize sometimes also a prophet in the Bible that disobedient is for our learning, to know not to be disobedient. So he was an example for us, like Isaiah said, he was an example for us to know not to run from our Father. So not only he hardened his heart, Pharaoh wasn't doing his own will. Our Father was hard and hard. He told Moses, I said, I'm a hardened heart. He not gonna let the people go. I'm a hardened heart. Wow. So you gotta realize he going harden some people's heart too. So everybody not escaping wrath.
Alright. Isaiah 45 and 7. I want everybody to understand this and highlight this in your Bibles too. Okay?
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light, create darkness. I make peace, I create evil. I hire do all these things.
I hire do all these things. Please understand this. This is who you need to fear. You need to fear Ahia. Do not fear Satan. Satan cannot touch you unless Ahia allows him to. The only person you need to be afraid of is Ahia. Real.
What's the beginning of wisdom?
Fear. Fear of Ahia.
Right. Beginning of wisdom.
Right? Always remember that. He says, I form light. I form darkness. I make peace. I create evil. I do all these things. He do all these things.
That's in Deuteronomy 32.
I thought he also created evil too.
He said
It's right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mercy on God, mercy.
so-
That's on our compassion on.
It's like, all right, now.
Go back to First Job, right? I said First Job.
First Job.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about something else, another scripture I want to bring out, but Job chapter 2. I'm sorry, everybody.
Go to one.
Job chapter 2, we're going to start at verses 1, right? So, Job's situation is going to continue, right? Now, he already got it bad. Now, we already know he done lost his children, right? And then you got to understand something. Back in those days, having children, that was very, very important because that's your line going to get cut off. Nowadays, everybody done forgot who they are, more so us, and we don't really have that drive to understand how important it is to have children. You know what I mean? That is the fruit of your womb. That is your, whole purpose, one of your purpose of being here.
Yeah, another thing, this right here kind of off topic, but it's kind of on topic if you understand. Because when you read Job 1 and 4, it says, and his sons went and feasted in their house, everyone his day. They celebrate their birthdays. That's their day. Each one of them, their day is their birthdays.
Yeah.
And they cannot find no fault with their children, right? Job ain't find no fault. So Job said, if they have sinned against Ohio, in their heart. So he's telling you right there that they didn't get destroyed because they just celebrate their birthdays.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's each of them. Their day was their birthday. That's what they was
Oh,
doing.
that's what that meant.
That's what that meant. He said, I'm gonna read again. His
Okay.
sons went and feasted in their houses, everyone his day. Said and sent to call for their sisters to eat and drink with them. So a lot of people said that they got punished because they celebrated their birthdays, but that had nothing to do with that. Job was up under the test of a higher.
That's
Yeah.
chapter
It was nothing about them celebrating their birthdays.
Oh, okay, because I should be up on that. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad he brought this up because this could break down when you see it. His day mean each of them their birthday. They celebrate their birthday.
Okay, got it.
Before we read that, let's go to 1 Kings, everybody. Let me show you another example of how the spirit world works, right? We go to 1 Kings chapter 22. We're going to start at verses 15.
I got second. Oh, okay.
Okay, 1 Kings 22.
1 Kings 22, we're going to start at 15, right? Actually, we're going to start at 19. Yeah, let's go down to 19, right? So 22 and 19.
You said chapter 1,
22 and 19.
22, 19.
Okay.
Chapter 22.
You gotta see.
You see all chapter 1.
Yeah, 22. Yeah. 22, yeah, verse 19.